friends. Again, I'm here to take this moment, and also, yeah, I just want to show you a beautiful view right now. Um, I think it's, yeah, there you go, sunset. I think you'll love it. It's really good. And right now we are in Pulindar, and yeah, I just want to share some thoughts about what had happened, or more like I want to share some of the things. So today I got privileged to preach in one of the church in Pulindar itself, one of the village, and yeah, I shared about this amazing guy Moses, and they're from the book of Exodus, and I was doing some research on that, and I don't know, I find so much of connection that I had with Moses, talking about one of the major case, or was the identity crisis, and I've been dealing with that. I mean, I've been how to say, I've been kind of thinking through on that, and as I was researching on that, and I find out this guy was also a mess like me. He was so messed up, and one of the I find out one of the thing was, for like when he was 40, yeah, not counting on the just let me say in a background of, like, he was raised in Pharaoh's palace or Pharaoh's house, and for 40 years he was more like, he learned about Egyptian, you know he learned about, and he was also he was taught to behave like Egyptian, all these things. I'm not going into detail, but one of the thing that I want to focus on is, for 40 years he was more like, he was learning all these things, which was not his actual identity, right? He was Israelite. He is Israelite actually, right? And also, after that, he killed somebody, an Egyptian, and he ran away. And for 40 years again, he was in wilderness, wandering. I'm pretty sure that he had a lot of questions, like, who am I? Those questions. And I'm pretty sure that he have gone through so much of, come on, 40 years is not you know a small number, right? So he have gone through so much. 40 years he was in, I'm not going into detail on the stories, but 40 years. And on the 40th year, he encountered God. That also, we all know the story. He saw the bush which was burning. Come on. And he went, he was kind of curious, what is it? And that's where he encountered God. That's where he got the calling actually, right? So he got the calling, and he was sent back to Egypt. That also with a huge task, which is to bring all the Israelites back home, or another way, back to the promised land, or God promise, which was made to Abraham, and also and on. And there you go. He is like finding God, encountering God in a bush, and that also, of course, for them, I am the word was a big thing, right? So that's where he was convinced, like he was convinced, where when the moment God said, who, like, he was asking God, like, if they ask me what would be my response, who sent me, that's where God responded the big word, I am sent you. Just tell that I am sent you. And that's where he was like convinced, and that's where he stepped out. Lots of story behind. He was like so much more like me, complaining, no, I don't want this. I'm not capable for this. I am not right person, all the questions. And that's where even he was God kind of God kind of referred to Aaron also. And long story short, he went, and he was, he talked to Pharaoh. I'm like, just, it's more like, just got born again, and then got a task. That was a huge task, and to bring the Israelites back to the promised land. And looking into this, like, God heard the cry. That's what it says, right? And that's where also you will find God's character, Elroy. God sees or God hears. You know, and yeah, that's where, I mean, I was also wondering. I was also kind of examining myself in certain areas where it's like, to be honest, like certain areas, when I talk about me serving God or fully surrendering God, it's one of the things that I am like, I deserve this? Sometimes it kind of, I had this kind of issue of, I don't want this. I don't want to be this. It's sometimes I question God. Why me? You know. Oh, there are a lot of things that I bring up to God, but He don't, he don't what to say. He don't change His decision that He called me, so He's gonna do His part. So sometimes I wrestle with God like anything. Um, and I'm still processing on it. I'm still growing. I'm still growing in many areas, and I'm imperfect. That's why I need God. And one of the things I see Moses' life was also like that, messed up, like me, and yeah, I see a lot of similarities. And most of the root cause was the identity crisis. And for me, even yeah, I'm also I just got talking about identity. Yes, I got breakthrough in that. I got my identity. But along with that, I see Moses' stories also similarities. Like, you know, he have been through so much, I'm pretty sure. But God, one of the things that I learned is God never changed his decision, or God never sees you know, what you can do. God sees your heart. That's one of the key point that I find out. God sees your heart. God sees you. Even if you think that you are good for nothing, even if you think that you are not, you know, who you think you are, or even if you are going through identity crisis, I'm telling you, when God sees, it's really something. When God picks you up, when God chooses you, we can't deny. And here I am. I'm serving the Lord. Of course, I have so much. I have many flaws. Ups and downs or weaknesses. But one of the good thing about God is He has once He called, He don't, how to say, He don't change His decision, and also you know, He qualifies me. Of course, sometimes I think like, I'm not qualified, because in terms of qualification, I'm very bad at that. I'm really, I can't even talk about it, because sometimes the shame really pops up. But then one of the things that God reminded me is, I qualify you. You know, He is my qualification. So that's one of the things. And even Moses also had the same thing. And with that, he went and he brought, the Israelite out of Egypt. So just a thought for you, just to let you, ponder on this, is that, you know, are you really, you know, relying on God, or are you relying on your abilities, or are you, confused, or in your calling, or in other way of what God called you for. So yeah, just some of the thoughts I just feel like to share. So yeah, just enjoy this view. Oh, the sunset is really good here, and I'm in Bolingdar, which is 3-4 hours away from Bogra, and yeah, we'll be here for some time. Please do remember us in your prayers, and yeah, let's keep in touch. And yeah, I just want to let you know that you know, you are somebody that God sees, so He will bring beauty from the ashes.